Hey everyone, it's me Jenny and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to knit this toddler romper. This is for size 2 to 3 years old. Okay, my son, he is a little bit over 3 years old, and he's in a smaller side. Okay, so let me show you how to knit this, and I hope it is easy for you to follow this tutorial. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so before I start, I'm going to show you the yarn and material that I'm going to use for this tutorial. For the yarn, I'm going to use this Heartland yarn by Lion brand. This yarn is 100% acrylic, medium weight yarn number 4, and the color is Sequoia. Okay, it is dark brown and you only need one skein for this. You also need 4 double pointed needle. I'm using 5.5 millimeter needle or US size number 4. You also need 16 inches circular needle, 5.5 millimeter or US size number 9. So you also need needle, scissor, and this is 1 inch button, and you need 2 buttons. Okay, 1 inch button or 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to make a slip knot and I'm going to cast on 64 stitches. Okay, as you can see, I'm making a slip knot with a very short tail because I'm not going to cast on using the long tail cast on technique. So I'm going to cast on using the Chinese waitress technique. Okay, so but if you do not know how to cast on using this technique, Chinese waitress, you can go ahead and cast on with whatever cast on technique that you prefer. Okay, so but in this tutorial I'm going to cast on using the Chinese waitress cast on. Okay, so cast on 64 stitches, and the slip knot count as my first stitch, so I'm gonna cast on the rest of the stitch. Okay, I'm back and I'm done casting on 64 stitches. So now grab 2 stitch marker and I'm gonna show you where to mark for the upper front part of the romper. Okay, so I'm going to count starting from here. I know it's going to be a bit hard for you to see because I'm using a dark yarn, but from this end, from the stitch from the working yarn side, count 22 stitches. So I'm going to count from my part. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I'm going to place the stitch marker at the 22 stitch, over here. Okay, so 22 stitches right here, and I'm going to count 22 stitches from this end all the way to somewhere here. Okay, so 22 stitches come from the very first stitch. So because this is the cast on, the slip knot, I'm going to count that as well. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, I'm going to place the stitch marker right there. Okay, so this is going to be this section right here is going to be the upper front part of the romper. Okay, so now I'm going to start round 1. Get the other stitch marker, place the stitch here, and make sure it's not twisted before you start knitting. Okay, so let's start round 1. Round 1 is going to be a knit round, so I'm going to knit every stitches. Okay, all 64 stitches is going to be a knit stitch. Okay, I'm back and I'm done with round 1. So I'm going to stick the stitch marker to the next needle. So for round 2 it's going to be a purl round. So I'm going to purl every stitches, all 64 stitches. Okay, so for round 2 going to be a purl round. Purl all 64 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm done with round 2. Now for round 3 it's going to be the knit round. Round 4 purl round. Round 5 knit round, and round 6 it's going to be the purl round. So I'm just going to finish round 3, 4, 5 and 6, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so round 3 knit round, round 4 purl, round 5 knit, and round 6 purl. Okay, so I'm going to finish up until round 6 and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Hey, I'm back and I'm done with round 6. So this is what I got so far. Now this is 1 inches from the cast on all the way to round 6. It is about 1 inch. Okay, so the next round, round 7 until round 30 is going to be a knit round. So just knit every stitches from round 7 until round 30. Okay, so I'm going to show you next step after round 30th. Okay, so I'll get back to you once I'm done. Hi, I'm back and I'm done with round 30. So right now I have approximately 6 inches. Okay, 6 inches from round 1 until round 6. Sorry, from round 1 until round 30. Okay, so I have the stitch marker right here. So this is the stitch marker to tell me the beginning and end of every round. So I'm going to place another stitch marker. Okay, I'm just going to knit one so this stitch marker won't fall off. Okay, so I'm going to place the stitch marker at the 32 stitch. Okay, so because we cast on 64 stitches, so I'm going to put the other stitch marker at the 32 stitches. So it's going, right now I'm going to do few rounds of increase before I divide for the leg part. Okay, so I'm going to place at the 32 stitch. So there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so this should be in between. Okay, if you can see, this should be in between these two parts. This is for the front top part of this romper. Okay. Okay, now for round 31, just knit every stitches. Okay, now let's start round 32. Round 32, I'm going to do 4 increases. I'm going to do the increase 1 and one stitch before and after every stitch marker, this stitch marker and stitch marker right here. Okay, so let's start. Knit 1, now make 1, make 1, now knit 30, 30. Okay, 30 should be right here, just one stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so knit 30, 1, 2, 3. $29, $30. Okay, so I've knitted 30 stitches. So now I'm going to make 1, now knit 1 stitch. Okay, so next slip the stitch marker to the other needle. Now knit 1, make 1, and knit 30 all the way till this stitch right here, one stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, knit 30 stitches, and I'm going to knit all 30 stitches, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I've knitted 30 stitches. Now I'm going to make 1 and knit the last stitch. Okay, so done with round 32, slip the stitch, and now for round 33 until 34. Okay, so round 33 and round 34, you're just going to knit all stitches. Okay, so for round 32 you should have total of 68 stitches because we've made 4 increases. Okay, so for round 33 and 34, knit every stitches. Okay, 68 stitches. Okay, and I'm done with round 34. So for round 35, I'm going to make another 4 increase. So it's going to be the same increase as round 32. First, knit 1 stitch. Next, make 1. Okay, next knit 32 stitches. So 32 stitches all the way till this stitch right here, just one stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to knit 32 stitches, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I've knitted 32 stitches. Next, I'm going to make 1 and knit 1, and I'm going to slip this stitch marker, and so this is the other half of the romper. Next, I'm going to just repeat the same as here. Knit 1, make 1. Next, knit 32 stitches. Okay, I'm going to finish up all 32 stitches, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I've knitted 32 stitches. Now make 1 and knit 1, knit the last stitch. So for round 35, you should have total of 72 stitches. Okay, so for round 36 and 37 is going to be a knit round, so just knit every stitches. I'm going to finish up round 36 and 37, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. So I'm back, and I'm done with round 37. So next, round 38. So for round 38, I'm going to do another 4 increase. So that's going to be the last increase for the lower bottom of this romper. Okay, so start with knit 1. Next, make 1 stitch. So next I'm going to knit 34 stitches. So the 34 stitches should end just 1 stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to knit all 34 stitches and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I've knitted 34 stitches. Now I'm going to make 1 stitch. Next, knit 1. Now slip the stitch marker to the next to this needle. Now knit 1 stitch. Now make 1. Next, knit 34 stitches, same as the other half of the side. So knit 34 stitches, and you should the 34 stitches is this stitch right here, just 1 stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to knit 34 stitches and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I've knitted the 34 stitches. Now make 1, knit the last stitch, and we're done with round 38. So for round 38 you should have total of 76 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to slip this stitch. So next, for round 39 and round 40, you're just going to knit all the stitches around. Okay, so I'm going to finish up until round 40 and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so just round 39 and 40, just knit every stitch. Okay, so I'll get back to you once I'm done. Hey, I'm back and I'm done with round 40. So next, I'm gonna show you how to do the leg part, the left leg and the right leg. So now I'm going to separate half of these stitches because I'm just going to do 1 leg at a time. So you want to separate the side that this left side, okay, not this side, because the working yarn is at the right side. So grab your needle and extra yarn, and slip all these stitches to the yarn, all 38 stitches, okay, from the beginning right here and to this last stitch before the stitch marker. Okay, so slip 38 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've slipped all the stitches, all 38 stitches. Now you can remove the stitch marker. Just going to pull the yarn. And I'm just going to tie a knot right here, just so the stitches won't fall off the yarn. Okay, so let's start with round 1 for the left side of the leg. So the working needle right now, the working yarn right now is at the back. I'm just going to take this off. So I'm going to transfer 12 stitches to the first DPN. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so next I'm going to grab the second DPNs and I'm going to transfer 12 stitches to this needle as well. So as I transferring the stitch to the DPN, I'm knitting round 1 as well. Okay, so I'm going to transfer 12 stitches. 1, 2, 12. Okay, so the third DPN, so there's should be total of 34 stitches here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 stitches, I mean. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, okay. So I'm going to transfer all these stitches to the third DPN. All 14 stitches. 1, 2, 14. Okay, so done with round 1.
Mommy.
Okay, so for the next 9 round 2 until round 10 is going to be knit round. So just knit every stitches from round 2 until round 10. Okay, so this is going to be a short romper. I'm going to knit this for my son, and if you want to make it long, it's really depends on your preference. So because I'm going to make this for my son and he's going to wear this throughout summer, so I'm just going to make it short for him. So I'm going to knit this until round 10 and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I'm done with round 10. So this is how it looks like so far. So next for round 11, I'm going to purl the whole round. And round 12, I'm going to knit. Round 13, purl. Round 14, knit. And for round 15, we're gonna do the cast off. Okay, so now I'm going to do round 11. Okay, so round 11 is going to be purl round. So just purl every all 38 stitches. Okay, we're going to do something similar like the upper part right here. Okay, so I'm going to purl round 11 and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I'm done purling round. Okay, I'm back and I'm done with round 11. So I've purled all 38 stitches. So now for round 12, I'm going to knit all stitches. Okay, so for round 12, it's going to be a knit round. And I'm going to knit all 38 stitches and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Hey, I'm back and I'm done with round 12. I've knitted all 38 stitches. So for next round, round 13, it's going to be purl round. Round 14, it's going to be the knit round. Okay, so I'm going to finish up round 13, purl round, round 14, knit round, and next I'm going to show you how to cast off. Okay, so go ahead, pause the video, finish up round 13, purl round, round 14, knit round, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I'm done with round 14. This is the knit round. So for round 15, I'm going to show you how to cast off all the stitches. So we're done with the left part of the leg. Okay, so to cast off, knit 1 stitch. Okay, next knit 2nd stitch. Now slip the 1st stitch over to the 2nd stitch. Okay, so do the same, knit 1 stitch, slip this stitch over the 2nd stitch. Okay, so just repeat the same until you bind off every stitch. Okay, so once you're done knitting the first double pointed needle, just go ahead and remove that needle and continue bind off the 2nd needle. Okay, so I'm just going to finish bind off all the stitches and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I'm down to my last stitch right here. So to bind off the last stitch, just do the same, just knit it, slide the 1st stitch, and now I'm going to cut the yarn and make sure to slide this out so all the stitches secure. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to weave this in once I'm done with the other half of the leg hole. Okay, so to make the other part, the other half of the leg, I mean the right side of the leg, I'm just going to pick up 12 stitches for the first DPN. So I'm not going to knit right now, I'm just going to pick up the stitch first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So I've picked up 12 stitches, so I'm just going to pull the blue yarn out. Okay, so these 12 stitches secure right now. Now I'm going to slide 12 more stitches to the 2nd double pointed needle and 14 stitches to the 3rd double pointed needle. Okay, so I've done slipping the stitch. So the first double DPN, there's 12 stitches, 2nd 12 stitches, and the 3rd is 14 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to knit the 1st and 2nd round because I'm going to use the fresh new yarn for the right side of the leg. And what you need to do is grab the yarn. I'm going to knit the 1st round. Okay, so I'm going to start right here, the first DPN, knit all 38 stitches. Okay, so this is round 1 and I'm going to knit all stitches and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm done knitting round 1. So for round 2 it's going to be the same, knit the whole stitches, knit all 38 stitch. Now because there's a gap right here, the opening, so you want to pull the stitch a bit tighter so you won't have a loose stitch for round 2. Now just knit every stitches. So you want to repeat the same pattern as the left side of the leg, and knit 10 rounds, and then do the round 11 purl, round 12 knit, round 13 purl, round 14 knit, and then do the cast off. Okay, just repeat the same, and once you're done, I'll get back to you and I'm gonna show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this as well, and I'll see you again. Hey, I'm back and I'm done with the pants, the lower part of the romper. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to weave these ends, and I'm going to close this hole at the middle. Okay, so I'm going to use the smaller needle, and there's no really specific way how I can show to weave this in. So I'm just going to from the last stitch, I'm going to put the needle right here into the first stitch where I cast off, and I just do and pull like that. I'm just going to do this twice, and that's how I do it. I'm just going to cast do few knots to I'm going to do double knot to secure the stitches, and weave in the ends. So I'm going to do this side as well. Okay, next I'm going to close the hole at the middle. So I'm just going to grab the same yarn. Okay, so this is how the bottom looks like. Okay, so there's no really specific way on how I sew it, but it really doesn't matter because it's not going to be seen once you put it on anyway. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do the upper part of the romper. Okay, so I'm going to you can use the double pointed needle, or you could use the circular needle, but for the upper part I'm going to use the circular needle, but I'm going to knit as if I'm knitting on a straight needle. Okay, so let me show you how to do it. Okay, let's start. Get the yarn. I'm going to use the circular needle. As I say earlier, I'm going to knit as if I'm using the knitting using the straight needle. Okay, you can use the double pointed needle, but I prefer to use circular needle because it's much more easier and it's flexible. So pick up stitches from this stitch marker to this stitch marker. So from this stitch marker to this stitch marker, you should have 22 stitches. Okay, if you do not have 22 stitches, you can just add one stitch or decrease one stitch, whichever whatever amount that you have. If you have only, like for example, 21 stitches from this stitch marker to this stitch marker, go ahead and add one stitch marker, add extra stitch after the stitch marker. Okay, it really won't be noticeable if you add extra stitch right here. So I'm going to pick up 22 stitches. I'm going to take this out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, and I'm gonna take this out, and this is 22. Okay, so I have 22 stitches right now on my circular needle. Now I'm going to show you how to do the upper part. Now you have to turn the work. Let's start with round 1. Okay, so for row 1, I'm going to knit 4 stitch, purl 14, and knit 4. Okay, now I'm going to do the row 1, which is going to start at the wrong side. Okay, so I knit 4. This is for row 1. Knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now purl 14 stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, next knit 4. Okay, 1. Okay, this one looks like there's 2 stitch because this is the tail for the beginning of my row. 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now I'm turning the work. Okay, right now I'm at the right side. For the right side, you want to knit every stitch. Okay, knit all 22 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 21, 22. Okay, so this is the 2 row that you want to repeat until you reach about 6 inches length from the waist right here to the top, about 6 inches. Okay, so the next row, row 3, you want to repeat the one from row 1. So knit 4, purl 14, and knit 4. Okay, and then you turn your work and knit every stitches. Okay, so repeat row 1 and 2 until you reach 6 inches length from the waist up. Okay, 6 inches. So I'm going to finish knitting until I reach 6 inches, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I've knitted 6 inches. So I'm going to measure from the waist right here all the way. Let me have the straight. Okay, so I've knitted 6 inches. Next, we're going to create the garter stitch. So for the next few rows, we're going to knit every row. Okay, so now I'm going to knit the whole stitches from the wrong side. Okay, knit whole stitches. Okay, so I've knitted the first row of the garter stitch, all 22 stitches. So next, turn your work and knit all 22 stitches as well. So you want to make this knit 5 rows of garter stitch. Okay, so I'm going to finish up 5 rows, knit all 5 rows, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, so I've knitted all 5 rows, so this is how it looks like. So next, you're going to do the bind off or cast off. So first, knit the first 2 stitches. Okay, so knit the first stitch and knit the second stitch. Now slip the first stitch over to the second stitch. So now knit 1 and knit the previous stitch over to the next stitch. You just repeat until you bind off all stitches. Okay. Okay, I'm done casting off all the stitches. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to make the strap behind. Okay, now to make the strap, I'm going to just eyeball to pick up right here. I'm not going to count the stitches. You could count if you want to, but as long as you start right here, I'm going to start right here, just behind the upper front part of the romper. I'm going to pick up 6 stitches. Okay, pick up 6 stitches. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I have 6 stitches on my knitting needle right now. So start row 1 by knitting all stitches. So for the strap, it's going to be the garter stitch, that which means you have to knit every row. So for the strap, I'm going to knit 70 rows of garter stitch, and after row 70, I'm gonna show you how to make the buttonhole. Okay, so I'm going to finish up the strap until I reach row 70, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. I am back and I've knitted 70 rows. It looks short right now, but it is very stretchable. As you can see, I'm going to pull and it is very stretchable. Okay, and you should get about 11.5 inches from row 1 up to row 70. Okay, about 11.5 inches. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to make the buttonhole. The way that I make the buttonhole is a little bit different, so let me show you how I do it. Okay, there's many ways to make the buttonhole, but I figure out, for me, this is the easy way to make it. Okay, so knit the first stitch. Okay, next knit 2 stitches together, cat to top, knit 2 stitches together. Okay, so next make 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Next I'm going to knit 2 stitches together, these two stitches right here. And lastly knit the last stitch. Okay, next, so this is the buttonhole right there, you can see it. Okay, it looks small, but as I say, this is a very stretchable yarn. And now just knit every row from now on. Okay, going to knit another 5 rows. So the buttonhole is at row 71. Now for row 72 until 77, you're going to knit all stitches. Okay, so knit continue knitting garter stitch until you reach row 77 and cast off at row 78. Okay, so I'm going to finish up until I reach row 77, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I've knitted until I reach row 77. Now I'm going to cast off, so knit 2 stitch and slip the first stitch over to the second stitch, and just continue bind off until you reach the last stitch. Okay, now I'm going to cut the yarn, and make sure to pull the yarn so all the stitches are secure. So next, go ahead and make the other strap. So now I'm going to show you, even though the buttonhole looks small, but it really can fit this 2 inches button. Okay, there you go. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to make the other strap. Okay, so this is the back of it. Now I'm going to count from right here, count 6 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to pick up 6 stitches from here and repeat the same process as the other strap. So pick up 6 stitches and make 70 rows of garter stitch, and once you get 70, once you knitted 70 rows of garter stitch, make the buttonhole rows at row 71 and make another garter stitch until you reach row 77 and cast off at row 78. Okay, so I'm going to finish up this row, I'm going to finish up this strap, and I'll get back to you once I'm done. Okay, I'm back and I've knitted the straps, and so this is how it looks like. It still looks messy because I haven't woven the ends. So if you want to put this on, you want to make it cross or X behind and strap it like that. Okay, so I'm going to weave in ends, and next I'm going to put sew in the buttons. There you have it, guys. This is how I knit this romper 2 to 3 years old. I hope you find my tutorial easy to follow. If you do have any question, do drop me a comment. I'll try my best to reply. Do subscribe if you have not yet, and follow me on social media, Facebook or Instagram. I am more active on Instagram. Do like and share this video, and for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again on my next video. Thank you so much and have a great day, everyone. Take care.